Now let's begin with graphics and media software in this chapter. Remember last time we talked about productivity software. It's basically help us to do our work. Today we'll carry on learning the other type of software that we'll be introducing in chapter 4, graphics and media software. And then we'll take a look at some of the personnel software, communication software, and system helping software. Alright, some kind of software help you to manage the file, image, viewing the image, things like that in a computer. Okay, now, so graphics and media software. What's it really all about? This is actually one type of software that used to be existing in the graphical software, in the productivity software category. However, as graphic and media actually involve a larger volume of data, gradually it's separated out from productivity software and becomes one category of software of its own, specializing in drawing picture, simply put it that way, or making videos, things like that. Alright. Now, originally, people used graphics and media software to draw some of the very technical design or technical drawing, and that's why you see here on this slide we have computer-aided design software, in short CAD software. Computer-aided design is a kind of drawing software helping you to draw very detailed things when you are designing something. For example, I want to make a new type of bottle to help me put water in it, and I want to design a new water bottle in plastic format. Then I'll be using a CAD to draw that particular bottle in a very detailed manner in a 3D, 2D, top-down, bottom-up, sideways manner. So when I put it in the machine, it will follow my instruction and make it. In the old days, the machine will learn about it and then will kind of adjust its mechanical part and to make it. Nowadays, CAD normally used together with 3D printer, so we'll be able to print out something very detailed, and all those things will be like a model car. There you can assemble, alright, piece by piece. Alright, so that would be CAD, computer-aided design. Today's people using computer-aided design normally would be power user. They would have some design work to do in engineering, alright, or they would have some design work to do in building, alright, in architecture, or sometimes even in graphic design. Alright, so that would be computer-aided design. Simply put, this is the detailed or technical drawing software. We also have some kind of software that would put picture and word in a very nice manner, and that would be desktop publishing software that we see here. For desktop publishing, what we're saying here is we try to publish a book, alright, or a magazine, a publication. Simply put, a publication is like a newsletter, a book, a magazine, stuff like that, or even a booklet. So how can I put the picture in text and mingle together in such a nice way that people would find it very easy, very friendly to read? That would be the aim of that kind of software aiming at. Desktop publishing software used to be a kind of software dominated by Macintosh computer. So a lot of people use the Mac machine. They would have desktop publishing software right away, readily for them to use, like the Page that we normally use in Mac. This is actually very good desktop publishing software in the world right now. And Adobe also have a very good features of doing desktop publishing. A lot of magazine house in the world right now and newsroom in the world right now, like Reuters, they use desktop publishing software heavily. Now, drawing picture, letting picture and text mingle together well, And we also sometimes would like to paint a picture, but we paint in such a way that it is not very professional or very technically drawn. All right, we just maybe like to draw something like we take a piece of paper out and draw something. If you have that idea in mind, you'll be needing a paint or image editing software, which is basically a freestyle drafting software that you want to use. All right, like a stencil draft. All right, drawing yourself. All right, as a personal hobby for yourself. All right. Okay, or you draw a picture for yourself, you draw a picture for the environment, you draw a picture of the things around you. Or if you have that kind of needs in mind, probably paint image editing software will be something you want to try using. When we say the software in this particular section area, normally the image that you want to draw is something that you have in your mind and put it on the paper, so you're creating image. However, when we say image, apart from your creating one, sometimes you also take picture of it and try to modify it a little bit, and that's why we also have photo editing software. When we say the word photo, this is actually saying that the image there is fixed, and that you see from your eyes is there, is objective, and you use an optical device called camera to capture it. And once you capture it, you will have some modification over it. Maybe you give it a soft lens, maybe you change the color, composition inside, things like that. You will have some effect put over it, put some word over it maybe, and decorate it, things like that. Right? All those things are what photo editing or photo management software doing. Adobe is a company famous for doing things like that. And that kind of picture, if you make a lot of effect over it, you actually have a lot of interlace, all right, a head of layers put over it. Okay, so the picture that you make out of photo editing software normally will be very big, very huge. Right? If you are working in the advertisement industry, more often than not, you'll be using photo editing software to help you create a poster. Of course, apart from static picture that we have in the world that we have to draw out or captured and modified and let the picture and the word mingle that with the other as well, we will also have moving picture in the world, right? What do we mean by moving? Actually it's like that. Our eyes very easily get cheated. If anything's moving, if we see the pictures that kind of change 25 times or more in 1 second, we kind of think the picture is moving. Right? And that's the concept of video, and that's why video is moving picture. Moving pictures can also be added, all right, manipulate in such a way that it would be very helpful for us to capture some of the moment that we want, or to create some of the message conveying medium that we want, maybe for teaching, for promotion, things like maybe you want to make an advertisement that can be in a video format. Maybe you want to make a lesson that can be a kind of video format. All right, that means moving picture format. When we say video, you definitely would have audio as well, because when the picture is moving without sound, hardly would us be able to grasp what the moving picture is all about. However, with sound added there, it would be like you really facing particular things real time with that when the sounds are there. And that's why when the moving pictures and the sounds kind of mingle together, and we have to put one after the other and to mingle with how fast you play it or you clean the noise out of it, you will not more often than not be working on video and audio editing software. And in computer, that's kind of software, very specialized software basically, right? In Macintosh, you also have quite a few there that allows you to choose from, and they also have some that you have to buy, right? We also have a lot of apps on that particular aspect. Now, have textual information have image information or pictorial information, have video information and audio information. You want to mingle them all together, or even you have some man-made video. Right? Now the difference between video and animation is video is normally you are using some real people in the world, all right, to make some moving picture, all right. That would be video. So this is realistic. In other words, animation is also moving picture. However, that time all the things you created moving is basically something that you have in your mind. Is not real in the real world. Okay, now you have text, you have graphic, you have audio, you have video, you have animation. You want to mix them all together in an interactive manner. Then you'll be needing a multimedia offering software in the old days. Are we still making that? No. To be honest, no. Okay, because they normally make in such a way that they would put in a CD or DVD-ROM. Right? Now let me show you a page here telling you the example of all those. Alright. Now this is what we say here. If you go for the internet and search for multimedia software, you're gonna find out you have the definition here, which is quite similar to our textbook. And most importantly, you know all those stuff will be delivered using CD or DVD. And in the old days, these two pieces of software dominated the market. They are called Adobe Director and Macromedia Overlay. Okay, it helps you to create some video stuff, all right, and textual information stuff, and then publish it in a CD or DVD manner. However, people start making use of another kind of software to replace it, and that would be all web offering software. Because what multimedia offering software can do can be done actually by web offering software with a much smaller size, and that's why people start shifting it all the way from a very bulky multi-offering software format to a very lightweight internet transferable website offering software. Because in a website there you can basically have text, graphics, audio, video, animation there. Okay, so if you take a look at the internet there, you're gonna find out while the multimedia offering software have only two examples, very few popular leader in the market. When you take a look at web design software or web offering software in the world, you're gonna be quite stunning that actually they have a lot. As of 2020 here, that you see in this article, that is by the beginning of this year, it lists out 13 best web design. That web design here basically refer to 13 best web offering. All right, design and offering are kind of the word they use interchangeably in the computing field. So you can see, okay, wow, they got a lot. Okay, the first one people like to use is WordPress, which is like Microsoft Word, and it helps you to create a web page very easily, so people use it. And some of the name you may see, or some of the name is more new to you, like the Constant Contact Builder, Gato Builder. That is also something quite distant from you, because this is a corporate solution for you to make a web offering solution quick. And Site Builder, Devi. Right, Devi may be some people like to use it. Actually, this is also a very fast way for you to do some web offering tools, or offering product. I mean, Weebly, Photoshop. Alright, Photoshop will be much more well known among them that you heard of. Adobe Dreamweaver. This is an old style web offering tool. It's still using. It's still used by quite a few people in the industry. Gym, this is a free Linux-based software. Alright, this is a free web design tools. Alright, free. It's very popularly used. It's very similar to Photoshop and allow you to make a lot of different effects in your web offering. Sketch, that's a new, also based on WordPress. Born out is a professional tools. Alright, used by Mac user mainly. Figma, alright. There's another multi-user interface for you to do a web offering. And Canva, Bootstraps. Alright, this is quite popularly used in the world today. Right, so those are the web offering. Now, apart from web offering, let's see. When you make a video, right, or something multimedia, you probably will be needing a player, right, to play it out later, right, to play it out. And that's why media player would be an important program that you may be using, because that can help you to view either the image or the animation, and also listen to the video or listen to audio and video, right? So popular media player include Real Audio, QuickTime Player, Windows Media Player, Flash Player, things like that. We also have some player that allows you to play some 3D effect, picture or video in a much nicer manner. That would be using the overlays effect, and that would be augmented, or we call it AR application. Augmented is the full term, the short form of the AR. Augmented means increased reality. So it's building some of the image animation out of the physical object, just like Pokemon Go. If you have played it before, it's very popular game in the world right now, that you can catch a Pokemon in a real world situation. Apart from that, you also see from the next page there, we start seeing that some book, if they use the AR technology, once you have the iPad over it, you can see some of the real object in your iPad or in your tablet PC, but in the real world you don't see it. Alright, this is what we call augmented reality. So it's built on the existing reality, let you see something extra in a 3D manner. And now for augmented reality, remember, there's something that must be true, is you still have the physical objects and locations. So those are the real stuff. Just that on top of those real stuff in the physical world, you build on something imaginary, like an animation or something unreal. Alright, so it's the real and the unreal mixed together. Because of the real surrounding, that makes the unreal thing looks real. Basically, that's the idea of augmented. So it is our mind, actually our mind, false perception, that makes us think, alright, the reality is real, which basically is unreal. Well, if we have a totally unreal, alright, environment made out, alright, then we are building virtual reality, VR. VR is everything there is unreal. Even the objects, the locations are all unreal, and you build something out of there, right? So therefore, you will have an immersive user experience. Immersive user experience is like a dream. You just like you're dreaming, okay? Because never anything there you see in that kind of VR environment is real, right? But basically made up. Okay. Now, how about those software? Apart from drawing picture, other that's gonna be a static picture, moving video, alright, is one category. We also have some personal interest, and this kind of software is actually keep growing in our world. Especially we are turning everything in a smart AI manner. The first thing, of course, would be the lifestyle application software. What are those software? Those are the software helping you to get yourself in a well-being direction. Maybe they would give you the advice on when you go to bed, when you go eat, when you go exercise, how much time you exercise, how fast the rate you need, alright, for your, and how high on temperature you need to be if you want enough exercise. By means of using that kind of lifestyle applications or apps, you probably will be able to fine-tune your living in a much more organized manner. The newly made iOS or iPhone operating system, they built in a lot of the features called health there, which help the user to build up their lifestyle. And of course, you can also download some related application or apps from either App Store or Google Play, which help you to maintain a healthy or well balanced lifestyle. Now, from time to time, this kind of lifestyle apps will also be linking to medical application, which will give you medical advice based on your existing health situation. And that's why this lifestyle bring up to the popularly used medical software in the world that maybe you find yourself have some medical problem, want to solve. Then maybe you have downloaded that medical application software, you can gain access to medical information in a much faster manner. Apart from that, that kind of medical application software will allow you to make appointment from the hospital, from doctors easily. We start seeing that a lot of the hospital clinics in the world right now, they're moving to this medical application direction, and even the government is setting up a lot of medical application right now in the hygiene and health welfare department, where they would let patients' record accessible online or through the application, so doctors or concerned medical experts can check your conditions once you have some unwell, and then they can prescribe you with the medication that you used to take, right? So that the risk of getting wrong medicine to you out of not knowing you well can be minimized. The entertainment applications would be about game, alright? Normally would be about game, okay. And the convenience applications would be about smart home control surface that we see in embedded computer perspective. So from time to time you have to control your home. You probably have to have your home have quite a few embedded application or apps, and together with that convenient application which allows you to integrate your smart home concept pretty well. And for application apps would be something online or real-time learning for you using the apps, right? That's getting more and more popular, so people can turn to that learning quite easily at their own pace, like Udemy. Udemy is a very or Udemy or Coursera or Udemy, two very popular education applications that we see right now, that you pay a little bit of the money, or the Brilliant that I showed earlier to people, Brilliant.org, where people can subscribe and then they would be learning some things at their own pace, and then once they finish that they would be given a certificate. Alright. For entertainment applications, the most popular personal entertainment application right now we see in the world would be Netflix, where and you can watch the movie with a very low fee, and then the access of those movie or the video would be quite enjoyable, alright, and it would also trace you according to your interest and give you back something that you like in a very accurate manner. Now, entertainment software, apart from Netflix, of course, another big company that also doing quite well in the world right now, it would be Apple TV. Alright, Apple TV is also doing this, alright, and it's customizing our entertainment in a much more electronic and digital manner. So Apple TV and Netflix, alright. And we see that with the popularity of Netflix and Apple TV getting to people, some other entertainment applications, alright, and also born up, alright, also kind of developed based on that concept. Now, we also have a category of software called communication application. That major aim is to help you to talk to the other by means of computer networks. Okay, so the most sophisticated way for communication happening between two people is real time. So among the apps category that you see right here in the blue box, things like video conferencing, internet phone, internet messaging, all three here basically are real time. That means the two parties connecting to one another can talk at the same time. Alright. Whether the two parties can listen to one another is an issue. It's another issue. But the two party can give signal at their connection point is a must. So two party connecting can give signal to one another at the same time, and that's the essence of what we call real time. In phone on the internet, in messaging on the internet, and in conferencing over video on the internet, they all share this aspect of both parties giving out signal at the same time. However, for blog, for email, for online discussion, or even browser, most of the time you are doing it in a non-real time, or we call it offline mode, basically. Not offline really. We should say this is a asynchronous mode. Asynchronous mode. That means you give a message out, people would have some delay time with replying you. Right? In email, you see it that way. You see it happening in this particular way. In blog, even you trace the others, people respond to another person have some delay or lag time. Browser the same. Alright, people showed up something and you want to respond to that by clicking the back, there will be some lag time. Online discussion the same. People post something on the discussion forum and then you respond to it and there will be some lag time. And of course, in communication applications, traditionally, people share idea by means of file transfer, and so that's normally sit there as the base, alright, for all communication happen. Alright, if the bandwidth between two parties is not very good, alright, then file transfer would be something taking a much more important role, because that would save a lot of bandwidth. Now, to continuously tracing one conversation to another in an asynchronous manner, but in a faster asynchronous manner, you will see the appearance of mobile text messaging and chat. Right? So it's a series of asynchronous communication, right, among two parties connecting. So out of the way of communication between two parties in either real time, synchronous, or asynchronous manner, we therefore see that in communication application aspect there, they have quite a few categories now evolved. Gradually, however, it's quite likely that we'll be having some applications on communication that will be perfectly real-time, oriented, synchronous oriented, so both parties can get message as if they were facing one another real face to face. Another type of code will be supporting in an application communication aspect where people would do asynchronous communication, that they will always have some delay time, even though that could be very short from time to time. Right? For example, the concept of blog discussion, online discussion, alright, is something like that. Right? Is something like that. Now, then we shift the focus from communication to something much more serious. When you communicate with the others, you have a chance of being attacked, and that's why security tools comes into your attention, and it is also very important. Okay, the first thing when people talk about security would be, oh, how can I stop people from going to my domination, my range, my working area. So stopping not all people can go into your computer or your operating environment is what we concern the most when we talk about security. And that's why the first software that we introduce you here is personal firewall. The meaning of firewall means you check the entering in and out on a regular basis. And that concept is like you walk in a cinema and you have to show your ticket to an usher before you can be seated. Alright, so that usher is a firewall. Firewall is a security tool. Remember, is to keep some of the unwanted message away. Alright, so it's help. We will detect who can go in, who can go out, who cannot go in. It will also, in so doing, protect the computer from being exposed to unwanted person. Alright. So we can have all unauthorized intrusion all screen out. Okay. that would be firewall. Firewall, if you use in a personal computer, that would be a personal firewall. Now, most Windows operating system basically have a firewall, but if you're not trusting that Windows firewall system, you can also install one yourself by going to the download.com. They will have a lot of choices for you to make. They are sharewares. They can help with shareware. That could be shareware or freeware. Okay, as long as you have one, that would be great. For firewall here, you can let it go to your computer as an application or apps. It can also be a dedicated machine in the network, which acts like a gate. All right, so that would monitor people who can go in and who can go out. All right, so that's another approach of firewall. So then you know that in firewall there, it can be in a software appearance. It can also be in a hardware appearance. All right, depending on how you place it. All right, in your computer network. Now, of course, if you let the two-person talks, it will be very likely that someone will give out some bad code, alright, ill-intentioned code for you, so as to extract information or steal something from you. And that's why antivirus program becomes important, because that protect you against unwanted bad effect imposed to you by the other people, either in your memory, in your storage media, or even in the incoming file. Okay. Now, sometimes people have ill intention on the internet, but they are not sending all the bad intention in a very destructive manner. They would just kind of go into your computer and kind of sneakily stealing things from you, alright, so you don't really kind of notice them if you are not careful. Spyware and adware, things like that. Spyware basically is some of the programs sent to the computer by means of the network and secretly collecting information from you. So you don't like that, because your privacy will be exposed very easily if spywares, alright, go into your computer system network or computer system. Well, adware would be much more commercial, that advertise and make use of this kind of special spyware to let their message go across the people, alright, goes across the people in a much more effective manner. That would be adware. So in order to get these two type of nuisance, alright, unwelcoming apps running on your computer, you will be needing spyware remover and adware remover. Those are the program help delete all those kind of program, so that you can always have a clean communication between the others, even you go online. And the popular security software type that we see in the world is anti-spam or phishing filters. Sorry, those are the two popularly see security programs, right? Anti-spam means if some people keep on giving rubbish information out, either as an email or message format, you simply kind of suppress them. Anti-spam, like something like that. Or some people would fake the others, alright, by assuming that they are some important person, and then they would try to get private information out of you. That would be called phishing. So that kind of phishing technique used in organization, they would be also quite hard to spot at times. Now with spyware, right, or with the software that we mentioned earlier, spyware and adware install, you find your computer have a lot more pop-up or pop-under windows. So to stop them from disturbing you on a regular basis, you probably will be needing some blockers. Some of the security tools would block the pop-up and pop-under message quite effectively, right? But you can also always turn back to that if you need to, rather than relying on getting all those kind of scenes like that. So that was security, pop-up, pop-under. So now if you use browser, they also have a function to turn the pop-up and pop-under windows off, so that you don't have to worry about the security all that much, because if they can't pop things up, normally they would not be able to phish us or do anti-spamming effect on us. Now, if you shift the focus a little bit, you're gonna see File Manager. File Managers is now a default in system like Windows and Macs. However, there will still be people who would buy File Manager to manage their file, right? So here you see in 2020, we still have people buying File Manager, right? Here got about 20 of them that I'd like to show you. Let me see. Okay, 20 best. Okay, let me close this one. What we meant, okay, maybe we just take a look at 5 best. One is Total Commander, one is Director Opus, Explorer 2, QR, and Cover. If you scroll down, you're going to see the names and the details of explanation, right, over them, right. That Total Commander is very fast, easy to use, right. Remember what's that? This is to help you have a good file management, right? Good file management. So the one just showed you earlier, Total Commander would be a choice that you can work on. It's a good design because it has some classic way of handling file for you, right? And of course, it's also quite popularly seen that people will be using Directory Plus Opus, Directory Opus, because that's highly customizable. Or Explorer 2, as you see earlier, QR, right, and Clover. Okay, so those are 5 very popularly used file manager right here in the world. Now, File Manager, apart from managing file, that we concern much. Nowadays, File Manager can be easily found in all operating systems. So some people, fewer people would bother install one for themselves. Likewise, searching in a computer, you can always search using operating system for the files you like, or on the internet, you use that kind of search function on the browser to do it. Okay, and that kind of searching allows you to find everything on your computer, including your file, your contact, or calendar. So with that, you can effectively manage your lifestyle in an easier manner when operating with the computer. And also we see that sometimes people would buy image viewer to see image. That's about 10 years ago. Nowadays people would have less bother buying them because in operating system they have it, allowing you to give special effect over your image collected, or even your mobile phone would have some software like that installed to install itself. Now for any of those file install with a program, there's a chance that you have to remove them if they're not being used by you anymore. So uninstaller at times will be helpful tools for you. In Windows, for example, they have an installer. Even in Mac, the same. However, you may still be wanted. If you want it, probably you will have some more reason behind backing you up to do it or to install one. An installer popularly bought in the market would be Norton Utilities. They would have an installer selling there as well. And also we found that when the disk is used for a long time in a computer, it would have a chance that it will go slower and slower, and by that time it actually have a lot of unnecessary files. Unnecessary file means temporary files, and those temporary files actually eat a lot of space from your computer, so your computer slow down. If you have a chance to clean them up, your computer will speed up right away. And even sometimes you clean your computer just like this one here with all the unused things removed, your computer may still be running slow. If this is the case, you'll be needing a disk defragmenter. So what is defragmentation here? Let's take a look at this video and you have a better idea over it about
And what
defragment.
does it mean to defrag your hard drive? Now, defragmentation reduces the amount of fragmented files on your hard drive. It reorganizes related data files and puts them in the same physical location on your hard drive. So, for example, as you install data on your hard drive, such as programs, documents, music, video, and so on, well, that data is actually divided into multiple chunks of data that are stored on the hard drive. So after a while, your hard drive will look something like this. All of your data is spread out and mixed in with other data files. So when you do a defrag, the defrag will reassemble all of the related chunks of data that have been broken up, and it'll put them together in the same physical location. So it's going to put all the files that belong to a certain program together, all the files that belong to a certain video together, the same with documents, music, and so on. And it's also going to put all the free space on the hard drive together as well. And after the defragmentation is complete, the files on your hard drive will look something like this, where all the related files are together and everything is nice and organized. So another example, let's install a program on this empty hard drive. And as it installs, notice how the files for that program are in close proximity to each other and are not scattered in different locations. They are close together. Now let's install another program, and let's install one more program. Now as you can see, the data files of each of these programs were installed on the hard drive in close proximity to each other, which means that when you want to run one of these programs, the computer will run quicker because a hard drive doesn't have to do extra work by fetching data from different areas of the hard drive. Now over time, as data is added and deleted, the free space on the hard drive will get smaller and will tend to spread out in different locations on the hard drive, instead of being in one general location. So as you can see, the free space on this hard drive is spread out into different chunks. So if another program is installed, the computer may not be able to find enough free space in one location on the hard drive to accommodate the program, because the free space is scattered in different locations. So for example, if we install another program on this hard drive, and if the computer can't find enough free space in one area for this program, the computer will scatter the program's data files in smaller chunks all over the hard drive. So it may put 50 megs here, 30 megs over there, and 20 megs in another spot. And when you have related files that are scattered into different locations on the hard drive, then this is known as fragmentation. And when you have a fragmented hard drive, the computer will run slow because the computer has to work harder to read and write data because the data is scattered all over the hard drive. And when this happens, you need to do a defragmentation. Doing a defragmentation gathers all of the related files that are scattered on the hard drive and puts them together so that they are in the same physical location on the hard drive. And it also does its best to put the free space together in one big chunk. And after the defrag is complete, the computer will run faster and more efficient. So as you can see from this before and after graphic, all the related data files are together and all the free space is put together. Now you only have to do a defrag on mechanical hard drives because mechanical hard drives have disks that spin so that the heads can read and write data files. Now solid-state drives or SSDs do not require doing a defrag because SSDs have no moving parts. The computer can just pick and choose whatever file it needs regardless of which memory chip the file is located on.
Now that basically all we have to say about defrag. Okay, let me stop the video first. Right. Okay, and turn back here about defrag. So you now have an idea that if you have a computer with more and more of your data scattered around the disk, especially you're using a traditional magnetic disk, defragmentation becomes a very important tool. And in the old days, people would buy defragmenters. Nowadays, some people still buy it, like from company like Norton Utility. All right, they would, or not an antivirus, alright, they will sell this defragmenter. It will help you to reorganize the files and assemble all the unused space in such a way that you have more space running your program, so you can have a quicker response time of your hard disk. And that process of making that happening would be defragmenting. Now in Microsoft Windows, they have a defragmenter that you can use right away, and you don't have to buy it. But you're not happy about it, you can always go to Norton Utility and buy one for yourself. That definitely would be a much more powerful one for sure. Now, this is still happening that we see some people would buy it. That would be screensaver. Screensaver actually is included in operating system in the old days. Nowadays, still the same. However, in the old days, that people would buy screensaver specifically. Now, people probably will not. It helps you to stop the monitor from having the same image from time to time on a long time. So, in the long run, that the monitor or the display would deteriorate faster. So if you use a screensaver, definitely your monitor can run a bit longer than is expected operation time. Now, in a system there, we also from time to time would need to compress some files so people can take it and do some extra work, further work over it. So file compression tools is another kind of management tools that we see in the system. Popular file management tool, of course, would be like WinZip or 7-Zip or RER. They are all very popular file compression tool. Now, to maintain the well-being of the overall PC, people can always turn to some PC maintenance tool and do some checkup on the system that you're using and see what way you can do to improve the performance out of it. Now, let's see. So PC maintenance tools is still some people will buy it from Norton Utility or NOD32. They would also sell some kind of stuff like that. All right. Now, backup, restore, and power management. All those in the old days you buy it separately, and it helps you to maintain your system well. Nowadays, it's included in the operating system. For backup here, of course, is to have your whole content stored in the storage medium. So when you need it, you can take it out back, right? And the process of getting what you just saved in the storage medium and release it in a normal situation that you can click and read and use, and that would be the restore tool. So restore is the reverse process of backup that will return you back with all the files in the original form for you to take reference to. And if you're using a computer, especially a notebook computer, heat would be your biggest problem, because when your computer operating long and it's become very hot, that would be quite detrimental to the electronic part in your computer. So power management tools will be of great help for you, because it's monitor your device and see when the battery is low, when the power, when the motherboard is hot, things like that. So you can eliminate all those bad factors affecting your laptop or mobile, so your laptop and mobile can be used for a longer period of time out of your good caring over it, your good care over it, I should say.